Well, what a pain in the ass this is already. Yeah, I already got one out there. Let's get this thing going, if I can. Yep, and away we go. Hi there, happy Monday. Not getting off to the right start. Having some weird glitches. YouTube kind of messed me up, and then Rumble decided not to work. But we got it going here, and I see a lot of you made it. So, yeah, I hope y'all let other people know that we did make it here today. Not a happy camper. But, you know what? We're going to do what we can to make this a success. By the way, y'all been busy already sponsoring the show. I'm happy about that. Some good things happen for the good people. I hope you think I'm good people. Oh, Rumble is working? Is it now? Oh, well, I guess my brain ain't working then. I don't know. It wasn't working a second ago. I'll try it here. Let's see. Let me check my channel. Well, tell you what. Let's play the intro, then I'll come back to it. How's that sound? Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Well, would you look at that? Stop the music. This is working on Rumble. I didn't think it was working. I guess I gotta be smarter than the plastic that my keyboard is made of. I'm just saying. So anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. Thank you to my lovely daughter, Alyssa, for that wonderful intro that she recorded for me a while back, and I finally started using it. It took me a while to use it, but we got to re-record it anyway because there's something about it that I'd like to change, although she does a great job. I appreciate my daughter so much. She's a lovely, lovely, lovely woman. And she and her wonderful husband have provided us with a beautiful grandchild. So we're very happy. I hope you're happy. Happy Monday. I can barely hear myself. I don't know why my monitor's messed up too. But anyway, everything seems to be working now. So we can get this shit started. Hey, I hope y'all had a great weekend. Mine was adequate. It was okay. Did our trail stop stream on Saturday, but then I worked so early. I started work at like 2 a.m. So I was like, I need a nap. So I went home and napped, and Lady Boomer hung out at trail stop, and then we watched a couple of shows on, watched some Netflix stuff. I can't remember what we were watching. We were watching something. It was pretty good though. I can't remember what it was though, because I was so tired. I barely remember it. And then yesterday, you got to watch the Vikings play the Jets. It was just one of those games where you're just like, oh, ending is killing me. And I'm not necessarily a Vikings fan. I'm not necessarily I'm not a Jets fan, but I've lived here 33 years. So, you just kind of try to enjoy the team in the city you live in. And and I actually watched the game yesterday, and that ending, the whole game was just, oh man, the Jets came back. It was just, they almost got it, and then they got the touchdown, and then they did some other stuff. But anyway, so that was kind of exciting. And then I had to get to bed early last night because I worked at 1 a.m. So anyway, I want to say hello to everyone in the chat like I always do because, that's how it is. And then I got a couple sponsors already, so we'll get to those and then we'll just get into the news because this whole Twitter thing has been pretty fascinating. By the way, Gunfox61, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day with three. Who's on the? Here, hang on a second. I don't even know. Before I even say this out loud. Let's see. That would be, he dropped, what is it? That would be he dropped 3 Jeffersons. Dropped 3 Jeffersons on the, 3 Hamiltons. Excuse me, Jefferson. Who am I thinking? He dropped 3 Hamiltons in the tip jar. And I'm like, damn. And also gave me a couple head scratchers of news stories to go through. That's going to probably make my head explode because that's what he likes to do. He likes to throw stuff at me that's going to make me think and maybe think a little too hard. You know what I mean? So anyway, what do you mean a rare Vikings win, Kay? They're 10-2. They're 10-2. Now they've won 9 games by 1 score or less, or 1 touchdown or less, which is pretty wild to be honest. They did have that one game that they got blown out by Dallas. So here's the weird thing. So they're 10-2, and I think because they got blown out so bad by Dallas, and then whatever the game they got blown out earlier in the year, that their points for and points against are upside down. It's so weird. But anyway, I'm not going to talk sports. I want to say good morning, everybody. First in the chat over on Rumble would be Avocados Diablo who gets the bell. Thank you, sir. Something's wrong with my fingers aren't working either. Also over there, Hurricane Francie. Good morning. Also, Wild Saffron, Somnambule Nation, and Furry Kitten, Septus Wolf. Nice to see you all over on the Rumble side. Be sure to be subscribed both on Rumble and on YouTube. That information is in the description below on my link tree. You can find that if you don't do that and something happens to be on YouTube, that I will not. You have to go find me over there. And if you want to know where I am at, the best way to do that is to subscribe to my Locals page. You don't have to be a member on Locals, but if you subscribe, at least you'll get notifications on the daily on where I'm at. So, and for some reason today I wrote on Locals, I'm only going to be on YouTube, but now that I am on Rumble, I'll add that one too later, but it's okay as long as you see the so somewhere. Now over on YouTube, I know that this is a new chat, but the first person in the chat on YouTube on the first 3 tries, because for some reason the YouTube stream was not going to the link that I said it was going to. I think I have to change the stream key or something. Something happened. There was a glitch, and so now we're on here. But all of you found it, thank goodness. But first, over in that chat was also Avocados Diablo, who still gets the bell again. Whoops, wrong one. Let's try that again. There we go. Let's do the bell, and there you go. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Also over on YouTube, Rotten Corpses in the House, Aaron Meredith, Black Hebrew Israelite. That's right. Trippy Liberty, what's up? Shady Grin, whoa. There's somebody who doesn't get to the live show all that often, but you are very good about putting stuff in the comments section. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Chicago Mike. Good morning, Don Julio. Gulf City Biker and Trash Man. Septus Wolf's over on YouTube also. Good morning also. Tyler F. Somnambule Nation. Ryan R. Tyrannus. Alexandrius. Tremere Lich. Also good morning to my favorite Canadian, Jaeger Pony. Let's see. Who else is here? Nomads in the house. Stop. Hammer time. And D.F. Watcher. And Rod Copper. My friend from down under. Good morning also to James PFP. Now what? My friend Wendy's in the house. Happy Monday to you. Hey, what's going on with Twitter lately? Don't see anything on the MSM. Yeah, the MSM doesn't seem to. The mainstream media doesn't really want to talk about Twitter for some reason. I think the media, after seeing what they did Friday, which is just, look, this just tipped the iceberg. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, but the media doesn't want to talk about Twitter because I think they know it's coming, and they are not happy. In fact, that's why I called this, what I named this, Twittergate. media hoes mad because they are mad. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Good morning, Kay. Again, the Vikings are 10-2, dear. Okay, 10-2. That's not a rare win. They're 10-2 this year. Although we know how this goes. We all know how this goes. If you know anything about the history of the Minnesota Vikings, we all know how this goes. So, just if you're a Vikings fan, just prepare your buttholes because you know what's going to happen. All right. And I think that's Hig's in the house. Nice to see you, Hig. Hello, Cindy, if you're in the background. And I am happy to see you guys. All right. So some things are happening. Obviously, Elon Musk is riling up everybody with this Twittergate thing, right? I was going to talk about something else first, but I'll do this first. I'll do Twittergate because everyone's deflecting now. The media wants to talk about Donald Trump because anytime you have something that's negative for anybody that's not Donald Trump, everyone who hates Donald Trump always has to bring up Donald Trump because if you do one of those things like Hannibal Lecter did, if you take the saw and you gently cut through the skull, and then you open the top up you take the Ray Liotta head top off and you go like that. Donald Trump's inside of everyone's head right now that's in the left because they don't like Donald Trump. And I am ambivalent, except for I wish he would have won this time. But I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I'm not a detractor either. I thought he did the results of what he did was good. I just think he's a little bombastic and whatnot, but I don't, I'd rather he be there than a guy that doesn't know what's going on and has somebody else, puppet strings. That's my marionette look when I go. So anyway, what am I saying here? Everyone wants to talk about Trump when the big story is how social media companies have been manipulated by pretty much everyone that's a Democrat in power. And that means by Democrats themselves, the DNC, the Biden campaign, the media, which is all Democrats anyway. I know it's redundant. And it's just this, you can see how dirty this all is. It's so dirty. And we saw it. We saw it when that Time magazine article came out after the election, when they said, "Oh, we did our thing, we did the thing," and boy, we did a great job. Make sure that the guy with the footy hair didn't get back in office. They did a whole article on how they did it and how they suppressed these stories. Well, now we know they've also done it on social media, at least with Twitter. And we knew we did it with Facebook because Zuckerberg testified before Congress that, the FBI and stuff was telling him what to do, and they had their own little section of FBI and CIA people telling them what to do, and they got and it's funny because we've already heard the story about how they've all the media has their weekly meetings with Jen Psaki, and she was telling them what stories they couldn't print, and the only people pushing back was maybe one Fox News guys, because even Fox News is kind of like, well, we're gonna go with this shit too because we want to be invited to the cocktail parties, and so I mean it's just like, good God, it was just like, look, Mike, oh my God, okay, let me oh, Mike. Let me get to the super chats real quick because we have something to consider. By the way, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, right now, while you're thinking about it, hit the like button. It's on YouTube. It's the like button, I guess. I don't know what it says. And then on Rumble, it's a little plusy. You gotta. What did I say? You gotta pop that plusy. You know what I mean? And it's under there. It's a plus sign, and if you're on a little screen, it's on a little thumbs up. But anyway, Let me address the people who've already made some donations to this show. First, Gunfox has sent me 3 articles, and I said he threw 3 Hamiltons in the jar. Thank you, sir, again. I really appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. Even though your only purpose is to see if you can make me bleed through my ears and out of my eyeballs. But anyway, I will check those articles out, and we'll talk about those today. Also, Rachel Madhouse Dildo's in the house and dropped a deuce in the tip jar. Thank you very much. who says, well, we don't have to say this yet, but I might as well get it out of the way. Thank you for putting this on here. Should I do music through these? Yeah, let's do this. Hang on a second, because I should. Sometimes these require music. Okay. Rachel Madhouse Dildo says, after dropping a deuce in the tip jar, says, Elon Musk did not kill himself like Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, you are correct. And then Chicago Mike has a question. How many Super Bowls do the Vikings have? Well, all right, hold up. Stop the music. Mike, how many Super Bowls? Oh, how many Super Bowl wins do the Vikings have? I took out that wins there because they've been in 4 Super Bowls and they've lost them all. But that was back in the 70s. They haven't had any since, okay? Now, Mike, you being from, or at least in theory from Chicago, because your name is Chicago Mike. Yes, the Bears have the 87 Super Bowl shuffle team. You know, they did that. And I was like, okay, they I was rooting for the Bears in that Super Bowl. Okay, because I was in, well, was that 87 or 86? I think it was 86. Anyway, that 86, 87, 70. We were, no, 85, 86? 85, 86 season. They had the 86 Super Bowl. And I was watching that Super Bowl in my friend's apartment in Des Moines, Iowa, the sliding glass door apartments behind the fraternity house. And we were down there and everyone's doing the Super Bowl shuffle and all that stuff. And so it's okay. I don't mind that the Chicago Bears have won one Super Bowl. Now they had a championship. It wasn't like in 60. Didn't they have a championship in the 50s or something like that? I don't know, but it wasn't a Super Bowl because there was no such thing as a Super Bowl then. But anyway, I don't care if the Vikings have won a Super Bowl. I still will root for them. It's fun. It's good family entertainment, and it doesn't cause you to have to go out in the middle of winter in the winter and you know, and celebrate in the streets of Minneapolis because then we don't have a Super Bowl win. It's too cold for that shit. Now, we did it when when the Twins won the World Series. It was warm outside. You don't mind being outside and celebrating the streets and stuff. But in the winter, it's Super Bowl. Who cares? Anyway, I don't know what that means. That means nothing. All right, but thank you very much for dropping the 5 spot in the tip jar. And I greatly appreciate you. This is great. Yes, Kay, I see the zeros. I would love to see them win a Super Bowl this year because they're 10-2, and I'd like to see them to have an upset of the Eagles in the NFC Championship and then go on to beat the well, I don't even know who's going to be the Super Bowl. The Chiefs. I'd love to see them go beat the Chiefs. Wouldn't that be a Super Bowl rematch? Didn't they play the Chiefs in one of the Super Bowls? I think they did, and they lost. And the only reason I know they lost is because they've lost every Super Bowl they've been in. I don't even know it was the Chiefs. I know they lost one to the, let's see, they lost one to the, who did they lose to? They lost the Raiders, didn't they? That's a trivia question. Who knows who the Vikings' 4 Super Bowl losses are to? I'm just curious. If you know, drop those in the chat. All right, let's get it going here. Good morning, Simon Wolfwood. Good morning. Somebody else showed up. Lord Stanhope's here. JMK's in the house. Nice to see you guys. All right. Let's get into Twittergate. Because boy, oh boy, the hoes mad, and I mean the media hoes, they are very upset with Matt Taibbi and Elon Musk, mostly Elon Musk. And I wanted to show you, I want to go to this story because I haven't read it, but I can guess what things they've highlighted. Because there have been several. Now, many of you have probably been listening to this crap about Twitter all weekend, I'm sure, and so I'm not going to get too much details into that. But, yeah, prepare your bottles. I can't believe I said that out loud. Anyway, there's been a lot of reactions. So what happened is the Matt Taibbi on Friday began putting the documentation out that Elon Musk provided him because he's given it to Matt Taibbi and who else is the other one? I think Barry Weiss. He's given it to those two. So, all the stuff that been going on behind the scenes, Twitter, and how they were censoring certain things, sometimes arbitrarily, like that whole New York Post, Hunter Biden laptop story. Basically, one person in Twitter decided that they were going to going to embargo that story and kind of suspend the New York Post, a major news, one of the oldest newspapers in the country, suspend their Twitter account over that story until they decided to take it down. And it was all because they don't want bad news for Joe Biden, right? And now they didn't say that. Well, did she say it explicitly? Well, that was the excuse that this was hacked materials, which they knew it wasn't hacked materials. They knew the people who were saying it was a Russian disinformation campaign. We knew that they were all lying. But anyway, so that's the first part. Now, a lot of people are reacting to this immediately in a way that's claiming that, well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it because this is the 27 most embarrassing reactions to Taibbi's thread about Twitter censoring Hunter Biden tweets. Okay, now I'm not 100% sure how Mediaite is spinning this. Is this Mediaite going to spin it in a proper way, or are they going to spin it so it looks like that the people who are supporting Elon Musk and Matt Taibbi's reporting on this? What am I saying here? My brain's not working. Anyway, here's the 27 most embarrassing reactions to the thread, okay? Construct tweet, say formally, what? Oh, Ben Collins. Okay, yes, this is a hose mad. This is definitely a hose mad. The media hose. See, when I say hose mad, I mean media hose mad. Are mad about this story. They are mad about this story because Ben Collins, okay, one of the original Mean Girls, okay, Ben Collins. Oh wait. Oh, by the way, a lot of people are saying PR for the world's richest person. Okay, that's the PR for world's richest person. That is the talking point for this particular thread that's coming out. By the way, and this is only part one. I got a feeling that there are going to be several parts to this. But part one came out Friday night, and boy, hose mad. Okay. Imagine throwing it all the way to do PR work for the richest person in the world. That is the talking point we want. Yeah, man. Way to go, Ben Collins. Watching some of the most famous, most powerful, and richest men red pill themselves into disaster. Pretty wild. That's Chris Hayes, who I'm not sure if it's Chris Hayes or Rachel Maddow. Same person. They're the same person in my mind. Mehdi Hassan, another MSNBC journalist. Imagine volunteering to do online PR work for the world's richest man. Oh, they said it. That gets the bell. That's, we did, what is that? What's that show where they had the secret word and everyone would lose their mind? Is that Blue's Clues? I can't remember. I think it was Blue's Clues where they'd have a secret word of the day. No. It was Pee-wee's Playhouse. I remember on Pee-wee's Playhouse, you'd have the secret word of the day, and whatever they would say, their secret word of the day, and we'd be like, yeah. Well, PR work for the world's richest man is the secret word of the day, and everyone would be saying that. So here's another one. Elias Sapid, I don't know who the hell that is, but watching Matt's unbelievable fall into lazy reactionary commentator and now PR hand for the world's richest man. Yay! Whoops, I meant to do that. You can't do that on television or Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yes, exactly. Hello, Tales of Gore. Okay, so, and then on his Substack, Matt Taibbi tells his readers that he had to agree to certain conditions to do the Hunter Biden laptop thread for Musk. Well, I'm sure there's certain conditions might be, you need to put these out in the order that I give them to you. I mean, that's all, but whatever, because anyone's bitching about that. Here you go. Simon Owens from calling Goldman Sachs a vampire squid to giving free PR for the richest man in the world. Yeah! That's someone named Simon Owens. I don't know who that is. Jason Schreier, this thread should be taught in journalism school as evidence of the importance of editors. Really? Editors are great not just because they make your work sharper, but because you can ask them things like, hey, should I be doing PR for the richest man in the world? Yeah! Wajahat Ali, biggest shitbag on the planet, Okay, I shouldn't say that. That's not nice. That's not nice. Matt Taibbi, what a sad, disgraceful downfall. I swear, kids, he did good work back in the day. Should be a cautionary tale for everyone. Selling your soul for the richest white nationalists in the world. Yay! He will eat rail for the rest of his life, I guess, but is it worth it? Someone named Jason Wilson. I know he's telling you what you want to hear, but that doesn't change the fact that he's working PR for one of the richest men in the world. Yeah! Yes! Let's see. Joe insisted. Tabby got the story. You didn't. Do you think cleaning the closet and the toilet for the security state and DNC makes you a journalist? It doesn't. Ross McCafferty. He didn't get the story. It was handed him so he could do PR for the richest man in the world. Yeah! 25 tweets in, and we've learned that all we've learned is that legal safety policy people were the ones who made controversial and consequential safety legal policy decisions 2 years ago. Am I reading this right? No, they're suppressing stories that would help somebody other than Joe Biden. That's what they're doing. That's what they do constantly. And oh my God, you know what? This is going to be everything that, look, here, let me just say something. And I know I'm not going into detail. If you haven't read about it, I don't know where you've been. But the thing is, let me get in my serious voice. The thing is, when I read some of this tweet thread by Matt Taibbi, I read it with the expectations in my mind that it was going to confirm all of my deep down concerns about how Twitter was being run, not just in elections, but in general. But as far as how they suppress conservative voices, how they suppress things that they don't like. Because sometimes it's not always just conservative voices. Often it is also, like, a lot of times the anti-war left, they get suppressed too, because anything that the state, and I don't mean like the president, because they didn't like the president. The state includes the FBI, the entrenched bureaucracy. Anything the entrenched bureaucracy and liberals and the media, that all those kind of, the deep state type peoples, anything that they didn't like was being suppressed at the behest of outside forces on Twitter who would suppress people who are just people using the platform. And as I read the thread, it confirmed everything that was in there. I was like, yeah, that's okay. That doesn't surprise me at all. Oh, that they're doing that? Yes, it doesn't surprise me at all. Oh, the Biden campaign had some people that they could go say, we don't want to see the story. Oh, they suppressed it. Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. Oh, they were doing things that they would now they haven't gotten to this part yet, but how they would highlight things that are bad for Trump always, but never for Joe Biden. That's kind of how the media works too. The media works like that way now, right? The White House brings them in and tells them what they say. During White House press conferences, they have pre-written questions, and Joe Biden would have a list. I have a list. Well, I have a list of people who I'm supposed to call on. And so it's just confirmed everything that all of us who feel like we're likely to be suppressed or suspended for certain things that we say, it confirmed all of that. But they're only on the first page of it, basically, as far as I'm concerned. This is the first page of a 250-page novel, as far as I'm concerned. And I know there's more. There's more. But the stuff that these people are bitching about already, they haven't even scratched the surface, is my guess. I think, in fact, the words, "but wait, there's more," is perfect for this situation. Anyway, let's go down this list again, because I got a feeling that there's going to be more. Here it is. Bassi, I'd eat him, whoever that is. That's okay. So this person says 25 tweets in, and all we've learned is that the legal safety policy people were the ones who made controversial and consequential safety legal policy decisions 2 years ago. Am I reading this right? Someone replied, "That's my read too. That the appropriate policy people made a call without government interference, and were later overturned on appeal. More curious about the process now. A journalist agrees to terms they refuse to describe to do social media PR for the richest man alive." Yeah! Sarah Reese Jones, we don't perform PR as a PR person to the richest man in the world. There it is again. John Kneffel, Taibbi thread is a great example of overriding when you don't have the goods, but you don't want to admit you're just doing PR for the richest man in the world. From Rolling Stone magazine to writing about corporate corruption and the power, blah, 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 wild fucking ride, drugs, blah, 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 100 riding truck. What you're about to read is the first installment of a series based on thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. Okay, that's that. Making a deal to do PR for the richest man in the world from Sturgeon's Law. I really don't expect the world's richest man to have even a passing familiarity with what the First Amendment does and doesn't mean. Matt Taibbi knows exactly what it does and doesn't mean, and he carries water for Elon Musk anyway. Despicable. 1 minute you're scourging Goldman Sachs. The next you're doing PR for the richest man in the world. Look, if I had a dollar for every person who mentioned doing PR for the richest man in the world, I would have a lot of dollars right now. A lot of dollars. I might be able to, pay the heating bill for the whole winter with that. It was over and over and over. Mostly journalists saying this. Mostly the hoes that are mad saying this. In fact, let's see. Presumably, Taibbi was the most credible guy the world's richest man could get to do this, which speaks to its Brobding and union and bullshit level. No, Matt Taibbi is basically, someone mentioned Greenwald in the thread. Yeah, Greenwald is one of those people, who's on the left, but doesn't like the shit that's going on in the world, doesn't like the bullshit. And this is kind of Matt Taibbi too. He wrote for Rolling Stone. Come on. He writes for Rolling Stone. He's not on the right. He's not, I don't know, the disrespect he was getting. And then, Ben Collins, though. Ben Collins is so mad. So is Taylor Lorenz is so mad right now. They're all so mad. And I'm here for it. I can't wait to see what else they come out with. And, and a lot of those journalists hate Barry Weiss, too. They hated her when she was she was supposed to be in the New York Times, and then they booted her and whatnot. So anyway, there's a whole lot of, again, Taibbi is a hack carrying water for a billionaire. But I don't think he's a hack carrying water for the richest man in the world at this point, not after blowing $44 billion on Twitter and with Tesla stock down by over 50% in the past year. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, God. And then someone gets mad about this. Okay, this is what's funny. You know how there's always sources? Well, this man's mad about sources because what you're about to read is the first installment of a series based on thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter, which, they mean Elon Musk. Well, at least as a source, they know who the source is, or by the people who work at Twitter, they know who those people are. So anyway, it's over and over. PR for the richest man in the world. So anyway, so there's a whole, everyone's talking about Twittergate. Everyone's talking about Matt Taibbi. Now somebody says, this is someone, he's making a facetious quote here, but, I remember back when Matt Taibbi was a tireless fighter calling out malign government influence, but now he's calling out malign government influence. Now that he is got malign government influence, he's lost all credibility. Yeah, right. But what he has done, Taibbi confirms that Twitter exec Vijaya, who we fondly call Vijay here, Vijaya Getty, played a key role in suppressing the October 2020 October Biden laptop story. Getty was later appointed by the Biden administration as an advisory role in shaping the Department of Homeland Security's disinformation policy. Yeah, that's exactly what we need her to do. Now, Ben, I mean, there's multiple threads in here. You just have to read them yourself. Like Glenn Greenwald has a really long thread here about how these people are shitbags. And Stephen Miller mentions it over. If you think they melted down over Taibbi, Elon Musk says he gave Barry Weiss access to Twitter files about an hour ago. This was yesterday. I'm sorry, it's the 5th of December, by the way. Monday, Metal Monday. I didn't mention that at the beginning of the show. This is delicious. So there's a string of disparaging remarks about Taibbi. And all these people saying PR for the richest man in the world. It's hilarious. Now, Robert P. George, who's a very, very, very well-known professor. The defamatory attacks, especially those by fellow journalists on Matt Taibbi, are disgusting. He's an honest, responsible writer, reporter who calls him as he sees him. Like the rest of us human beings, he's got a point of view, but he just does his best to provide unvarnished facts. Now, look, Taibbi is a leftist. He is a Democrat. He is a Joe Biden supporter, but he's not going to lie about this. Now, a lot of people trying to make this about Trump. Oh, there's a whole nother trending. Twittergate is trending. Now, this is a fascinating graphic right here, right at the top of this Twittergate. Oh, by the way, thank you, Chicago Mike, for sponsoring the show. Appreciate you. Dropping a big bullet in the tip jar, and Chicago Mike says, new drinking game. Anytime someone says PR for the richest man in the world, take a drink. You know, Mike, I got to tell you, if you tried to do that on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, you'd be drunk all weekend. I'm just saying, you might have to go to you might need a paramedic. Let's just put it that way. But thank you for sponsoring the show, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, you mean they're carrying water, the thing you fall back on when you cannot say anything of any real consequence. Oh, it's been all weekend, Avocados Daily. I got to tell you, it's been all weekend. So anyway, here's an interesting graphic. So now this Twitter file, and they did was it Saturday? They did like a 5-hour Twitter Spaces group. Over 100,000 people were in the Twitter Spaces. Over 1 million people heard parts of it. That Elon Musk was in the Twitter Space answering questions. And I have a story in that somewhere, but I'm going to skip it today because I got some other things to get to. Anyway, so Twittergate's big. The media, though, like the networks that usually talk about news, they spent a total of 7 seconds on the Twitter files of the Sunday shows. I think someone mentioned it, which is just funny. When they're not lying about the news, they're blacking it out. They don't want to talk about this. But it's funny because over the weekend, there was something about Donald Trump that is just blowing up on Twitter today. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. But I want to go just show you some of the Twittergate files here. In fact, let's see. Is this a thread? This is not a thread. I should be careful. I got to remember, this is Twitter. You can't always put things on the Twitter. That's because you never know how many people are going to put pictures of penises and shit. This is interesting. Here's someone posting this again. So I want to show you this video because this is a little Project Veritas thing that even though it's not necessarily about Twitter, it is completely apropos. Okay, it is completely apropos because this is very much the attitude of the news networks, of the social media networks, everybody. No scroll, I like gratuitous porn. No, we're not. I don't want to take any chances. I did it once. I remember this is about a year ago, and I was scrolling on one of these Twitter feeds, and I didn't notice it right away, and someone in the chat's like, was that a vag in the picture? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then I went back after the show and I'm like, oh shit. I was able to cut it out before it got published on YouTube. But I was like, damn, that should not have been on my screen. So anyway, no gratuitous porn on my screen. I have to be very careful. Anyway, this is a video that's going to kind of explain to you how these people think, though. Because this is just CNN. Well, this is a CNN exec, someone named Charlie Chester, CNN technical director. This is a 2-minute Project Veritas video, undercover, talking to one of these people. And this, I'm imagine, is the behind closed doors view or attitude that many of the people like Vijay and Joel Roth and those people at Twitter have, and I'm sure the people at Facebook have. Or remember, what was it? Was it the Google people who were having a meeting and they're like, after Trump won the presidency, and they were just it was almost like they were all in mourning and just like, we don't know how this could have happened. But I got a feeling that this is the way it is at all of these places. Okay, that who want to control the narrative. So here's the Project Veritas video. We'll watch this for a minute.
I think we got him through this term. We would always show shots of him jogging.
Yeah, these guys are talking about the 2020 election. And now, just to be careful here, why is this not all fitting on the screen? That's weird. That should be fitting. Full video should be. Hang on a second. Let me check here. Let's fix this so that it fits. Going on. There we go. And let me make it just a little small there. There we go. Let's make that fit better. All right, here we go. So I think this is the attitude that they all have, though.
Him in aviator shades and like you paint him as a young geriatric.
Oh, instead of a
story there that we didn't know anything about. You know, we were. So that's I think that's propaganda.
Look what we did. We got Trump out. I am 100%.
Oh, we got Trump out. See, that's what the Time magazine story said, that we got him out.
I don't know that Trump would have got voted out. Our focus was
he's giving all the credit to CNN. Now, Time magazine said it was collaborative between all the media sources, but this guy at CNN thinks this is CNN is the one who did it. So anyway,
get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change.
Oh, so they went from getting Trump out of office. Now they're going to try to make it the next scare is climate change. Okay.
Awareness.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of like fear, like climate?
Yeah, fear sells. Fear sells.
No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious.
Oh, no one says them out loud.
We've heard that CNN is the most trusted name in news, but a CNN director is on tape telling us that they're propaganda, helping a certain political candidate, employees admitting what we've always known to be true.
We've always known it.
Was
like again, this is not a surprise. It's just funny when you actually see them actually talking about it. Did I say actually twice? Actually. Okay, anyway.
I don't know, like his hand was shaking or whatever like that. We brought in like so many medical people to like all tell a story that like it was all speculation.
All
he
fake.
was like neurological damage, like that he was losing it. He's unfit to, you know, whatever. We were creating a story there that we didn't know anything about.
Ding.
I think it's just like a COVID fatigue. So like whenever a new story comes up,
How they
they're gonna
manipulate
latch onto
news.
it. They've already announced in our office that once the public will be open to it, we're going to start focusing mainly on climate.
Now, so when they did the COVID stuff is just so that they could help the government that they liked maintain control. Yeah, isn't that special?
It's going to be our focus. Our focus was to get Trump out of office.
Wow. Their focus was to get Trump out of office. Wow. This is CNN. CNN, Cable News Network. Huh. Maybe it should have been DNCNN. I don't know. It's terrible.
Right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change. Awareness.
Who decides that?
Head of the network,
is that Bezos? Oh, no, Zucker. Well, Zucker's gone. Because this was before Zucker left, right? So anyway.
Is that Zucker?
Zucker, yeah. climate change.
Interesting, because now they have a new boss, and it seems like they're clean house at CNN. By the way, CNN, a bunch of people got fired at CNN, and it wasn't a big story, and I thought it should have been. It should have been more of a story, but it wasn't.
He's going to be the next COVID thing for CNN. We're gonna hone in. Our focus was to get Trump out of office, right?
Their focus was to get Trump out of office. I imagine that.
Without saying it, that's
They
what it
were
was.
successful.
That's the question, Mr. Zucker. Why is it so important to hide?
Now, remember, this is an older one, but like I said, I'm using this as an example of, we don't have to watch the rest of that. I'm using it as an example of what these people say behind closed doors. And is it a surprise to any of us who assume this is what they do behind closed doors? It's so obvious who gets the scrutiny the most and who gets the suspensions the most. People who do memes and comedy, because comedy sometimes is your best friend, right? And they had a whole section on them talking about, oh, I don't have that video. There's Yoel Roth talking to some lady at a forum about how they, how they really didn't like the Babylon Bee because, even though it's satire, we don't want that kind of satire over where we're doing work because, we're the special people. So anyway, if you want to see those threads, those are going to be in the description at the end of the show. I'll drop them into the in the description. I always take all the articles, videos, and tweets and whatever, and I put them into a single link called the One Tab link. It'll be in the second paragraph of the description on both Rumble and on YouTube. You can find these threads. I mean, I would go through this, but it almost needs a standalone video to talk about this information that came out on Friday. I'm going to wait till I think Barry Weiss's section that she's working on is coming out next. I think they're going to alternate between Taibbi and Barry Weiss. And I'm not sure what the agreement was as far as what they would reveal. I think part of it is they were told not to reveal any personal information. I think Taibbi accidentally revealed Jack, what's Jack's last name? Whatever, Jack. They revealed Jack Dorsey's email address by accident because he blocked it out in one section, and then it was also at the bottom. He forgot to, so they de-dumped that. But I think that's what the conditions of being given this information was, that they couldn't give it out any personal information. But everyone speculated that, they can't give any bad information that hurts Republicans. That's not it at all. So let's go to what people are talking about Trump about, though, because people are mad at Donald Trump, and it's because of something he said kind of related to this, because this is the way the media all colluded with the Biden campaign and the DNC. Imagine what Donald Trump's reaction to all this is right now. He's probably going, yeah, I knew all this shit. And what the hell happened? By the way, let me do a couple thank yous. Thank you, Sound Number Nation, Tyler F., Scribe Light, Dog Thrapple, and Sound Number Nation again for tweeting out the show. I greatly appreciate it. Looks like a couple other people have. So Donald Trump said something, and here's, why is this? Oh no, it refreshed. I don't like it when they do that. So the word Constitution is trending. Okay. The word Constitution is trending because something Donald Trump said, and that is some of the leftists are mad about. So he put this tweet, or I don't know what you call him on Truth Social. He put this post on Truth Social, and a lot of people are focusing on this post. And here it is. So after this, he hadn't really commented on this the whole weekend. And then finally yesterday, he wrote, and I'm not going to do it in Donald Trump's voice because I'm not very good at that. But anyway, so with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception in working closely with big tech companies, the DNC and the Democrat Party, that's his verbiage, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner, or do you have a new election? ? Now, Silly question. You know, they're not doing that. And then he writes this words, and this is what got people riled up because they have their own, everyone has their own interpretation of what this means. Quote, a massive fraud of this type and magnitude allow for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. Now, this got people talking because Joe Scarborough, for example, has what I would call the reaction that a lot of people on the left interpreted this. Again, read it again. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules and regulations, articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. Here's their interpretation of that sentence. And Joe Scarborough does this as well as anyone else. He says a former president has called for terminating the U.S. Constitution. There is no middle ground. You support the American Constitutional Republic or you support Donald Trump. What? Now, I guess I gotta ask you, does this sentence say that we should throw out the Constitution? Okay. Look at in context. Revelations, the massive widespread fraud, deception, blah, 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 working, blah, blah, blah. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want or would not want or would condone false and fraudulent elections. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Is Donald Trump calling for the termination of the Constitution of the United States of America? Is that how you would interpret? Now, obviously, the people who take off the Ray Liotta skull cap and makes sense. Sorry. Oh, I got one of those damn glitches. Did YouTube die? Hang on a second. I hate it when that happens. Let me come back here just a second. Please tell me YouTube didn't die. It sure as heck did. It sure as heck did. Okay, it's back. The current video is interlaced, but interlaced video is not supported. Looks like it came back. All right, good. All right, let me go back to this. I did that the other day and everything went okay, back. Good. All right. So people responding to Joe Scarborough, right? People responding to Joe Scarborough are now